Vale, vale. Buenas solitos, Death Battle. Death Motherfucking Battle. Después de 3 putos jodidos meses de Saitama vs Popeye, que fue la polla. Fue la polla Saitama vs Popeye, me encantó. Tenéis aquí la reacción, ¿vale? Pues ya tenemos no nada más y nada menos que Harley Quinn vs Jinx. Personaje de cómic, personaje de videojuegos. Vale. Harley Quinn es una humana normal. Una humana normal. Normal. Que está putamente loca, pero no tiene ninguna particularidad especial remarcable. Es una buena gimnasta. Al nivel quizás de, yo que sé, Nightwing, para poner un ejemplo. Jinx tiene superpoderes. Tiene el poder de la cocaína. Literalmente. Se vio en Arcane, su pasiva, ¿vale? Y no es como en el juego. La puede activar cuando quiera, puede estar literalmente drogada. Está imbuida en el flujo. No, en el... No me acuerdo el nombre. En el brillo violeta ese. La droga, ¿cómo se llama? Bueno, la droga esa. El shimmer, ¿vale? Ya gana, ¿vale? Tiene un superpoder. Es literalmente... O sea, Jinx tiene un superpoder. A Harley no. Ahora el problema es, ¿en algún cómic Harley tiene superpoderes? Seguramente, y por eso va a perder Jinx. Tal cual. Porque como siempre, no hay nada más roto como personaje de cómic, porque tiene 50 putos multiversos.
Being able to wear your cosplay around the house? I know I'm not.
DC's fantabulous anti-hero.
Jinx, the loose cannon of League of Legends.
We live in a society that adheres to strict laws and norms, but these two ladies turn that system on its head with their wild enthusiasm for destruction and chaos.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Jinx. Pero bueno.
Born to a middle-class family in the heart of Brooklyn, USA, Harleen Quinzel had long lived a life of mediocrity. She had embarrassing parents, annoying siblings,
And a high school life that sucked. Even more than, like, the normal ones.
She never quite felt like she fit in anywhere. But despite this, Harleen knew she was destined for greatness.
So, inspired by a childhood crush turned psychotic murderer, Harleen spent years training to be a world-renowned criminal psychiatrist, eventually traveling to Gotham City's infamous Arkham Asylum to research the most dangerous criminals on
Joker.
the planet, like Batman's arch-nemesis, the Joker.
But after analyzing the Joker and his horrific, unspeakable history as a homicidal clown, and Jared Leto, she came to realize one truth.
The Joker was actually a misunderstood angel squashed down by an unjust society and wrongfully harassed by that son of a bitch Batman.
This was the first of the Joker's many manipulations, leading Harleen to see a warped reflection of herself through him, culminating in her breaking him out of prison, bleaching
Héctor
her skin via
Estocolmo.
chemical vat baptism, and joining him on his life of crime, descending into love like madness and reborn as the fantastic Harley Quinn.
And she was packing plenty of tools of maniacal mayhem, including her iconic hammer, electric buzzers, and bombs of all shapes and sizes, like the dreaded banana cream pie, the most evil of all pie flavors.
When she wants to get around quickly, she can use her handy-dandy pogo stick, which she straps rockets to. That doesn't seem safe.
Speaking of unsafe,
¿Qué es
Harley's
aquí?
most versatile tool is her pop gun, a rotating revolver with special ammo rounds, like a boxing glove. Whoa!
Whoa, close one.
And binding confetti. Whee! And did I mention explosive rounds, which... Oh no.
Ah, my leg is gone. Oh no. Oh wait, there he was. I'm fine.
Ooh, I'm gonna go.
Harley combines her arsenal with unparalleled gymnastic skills, making her far deadlier than your average criminal. She can even keep up with experts like Deadshot and Catwoman, even Batman at times. The peak human superhero that can dodge lightning and survive this
¡Le
alien
empezamos!
device exploding,
¡Ya
which
empezamos!
obliterated multiple city blocks.
Yeah, I think that stretches the term peak human just a
Ya
bit.
empezamos. Harley una vez peleó contra Batman, por lo cual está igual que Batman. Y Batman en un cómic aguantó una explosión nuclear. Es que están tan mal hechos. Está tan mal hecho.
But hey, he's the goddamn Batman, so we'll allow it.
Unfortunately for Harley, despite her unwavering loyalty to the Joker, their honeymoon period did not last. He spent years abusing her, physically and emotionally, tearing her down piece by piece.
Then, when he got bored, he strapped her to a friggin' rocket and launched her halfway across Gotham City. Guess that's one way to say, no, it's not you, it's me. Bye!
Harley was left alone in the wreckage, abandoned by the one person she dedicated her entire life to.
Until fellow villain Poison Ivy came by. She nursed Harley back to health, literally healing her from a damaged relationship. Ivy even gave Harley a chemical concoction that granted her superhuman strength and a healing factor.
I suppose a healthy relationship can sometimes feel like your own
Pues básicamente le doy superpoderes. Es la mejor, Ivy. Es que es la mejor. Ya empezamos a ver. Ivy le dio superpoderes, claro.
superpower in and of itself.
Yeah, and those two definitely seem like very good friends. Wink!
With Ivy at her side, Harley went on to rebuild herself as a famous anti-hero, leading teams like the Gotham Sirens and Suicide Squad. She worked on developing new skills built around her own strengths rather than that of her past.
Like learning to use her lifelong knowledge of psychoanalysis to manipulate her foes mid-combat.
And creating tons of her own chemical concoctions, like tranquilizers and sleeping gases that can incapacitate metahumans. She even reverse-engineered her former flame's trademarked Joker Venom. This deadly substance excites the laughter centers in a person's brain and forces them to laugh until they suffocate.
Harley was clearly on top of the world, but nothing caps off self-improvement like a Rocky Balboa training montage. So Harley went to Themyscira of all places to get a combat internship with the Amazons, just like her favorite.
Es que me encanta porque estoy viendo todo diferentes estilos de dibujo, por lo cual son diferentes cómics y solamente sean diferentes multiversos.
Oh, Wonder Woman! Man, imagine going from bashing random goons in Gotham to fighting alongside immortal warrior goddesses!
She became agile enough to jump between skyscrapers and...
No, es que tienen continuidad. Sí, continuidad con diferentes escritores, ¿verdad? Con diferentes escritores, diferentes cogidos. Pues pelear con un personaje de cómic, tiene que coger un personaje de cómic. Un personaje de cómic específico. Superman de Silver Age. Porque coges todo lo que hizo en la Silver Age. Superman de Man of Tomorrow. Batman Dark Knight. No, Batman.
Strong enough to rip an entire palm tree out of the ground with her bare hands. Based on the size of the tree and the weight of an average palm by foot, that weighs about 600 pounds. And she can hold it one-handed, so her actual strength is probably at least twice as much.
Enough to lift a full-grown brown bear and throw it like a ragdoll. Hell, her skills advanced so far, she was appointed a herald on the War World Apocalypse. You know, the planet ruled by the living embodiment of evil?
Boom.
Even the actual personification of the DC editorial staff likes to call her in to help with tough jams.
As the years went on, Harley surprised literally everyone by transitioning from supervillain to superhero. She partnered up with other heroes, became a psychiatrist again, and legitimately started helping other vigilantes with trauma, like Jason Todd, who definitely needed that.
In fact, the Bat family she used to antagonize and ridicule eventually accepted her as kind of an extended member of their group, teaming up with her to save Gotham from her toxic ex. Good for her. Guess we're not going to talk about when she went back to the Joker a couple times, huh?
In the end, she may be a little nutty, but you'd be mad not to love Harley Quinn. The world of Runeterra is a wondrous fantasy land of advanced technology, arcane magics, and legendary champions. But on its northern shores are two cities locked in political turmoil. For decades, Piltover's rich elite have exploited the undercity of Zaun, forcing workers into unsafe conditions and brutalizing the populace with terrifying police enforcers.
Oh, so like New Jersey. You could have just said New Jersey.
Until one day, a wild, loose cannon would literally explode onto the scene. She gave those uptight topsiders a taste of their own medicine, menacing its people with bombs, gunfire, and even more bombs. This was Jinx.
Jinx destroyed zeppelins, Jumanji'd the shit out of the local zoo, and switched the street signs. What a monster! Now those monkeys will never find their way back.
Only the enforcer, Violet, could hope to stop her.
No.
But even armed with massive gauntlets weighing over 4,000 pounds each, Vi could not definitively overcome Jinx's magnificent arsenal of mechanical monstrosities.
Man, they're so evenly matched. It's almost like they're related. Anyway, Jinx can burst open birds with her trusty Zapper Shock pistol.
Jinx
turn
escapa,
enemies
no
with
pelea
Swiss
con-
cheese with her Pow Pow minigun, and blow bad guys to bits with her Flame Chomper grenades.
But Jinx's favorite weapon is her Fishbones rocket launcher. So much so, she rides it like a rocket-powered pogo stick. Well, that seems even less safe.
Well, don't let her manic attitude fool you. Not only is Jinx tough enough to take a hit from Braum, a guy who can shake mountains with a punch, but she's wicked smart. Almost all her gear is custom made. She's even recreated Hex Tech, funky science powered by magic crystals. Ooh.
Including her handheld teleportation device. Oh, my bad.
Acaban de coger literalmente una imagen cómica de Jinx en Will Reef, ¿no? En el cual Braum le golpea. Braum es el hombre más fuerte del lore. A secas. Me voy a equivocar, pero joder que Braum podía mover una montaña. Creo, en el lore. Ahí me puedo equivocar, ¿eh? Siguiendo esa teoría, en un vídeo de Wild Rift, Jinx va con Lux entre dimensiones. ¿No? También ese poder.
Legends? What a coincidence.
Oh no.
Hold the phone. Are you talking about League of Legends over there? I love that game. I've got in more than 10,000 hours just in our college days, huh, buddy? League of Legends is a multiplayer online battle arena game forged in the flames of LAN parties and salty gamer tears. Oh. And as any professional will tell you, to play the game well, you need to min-max your character's loadout with the best
Siguiendo la
possible
teoría, Jinx hizo una mierda mágica porque su lanzacohetes atraviesa montañas. ¿Has visto cómo el lanzacohetes atraviesa montañas? ¿Verdad? ¿No? Tampoco vas a... ¿Lo ves? Es como... lógica.
Yeah, and the worst mistake you can make is being new. God, it's the midterms all over again. No, Boomstick, stay in your lane. What are you doing in the jungle? Stop it, feeder.
Jinx's ideal loadouts include Phantom Dancer, so she can phase through objects after landing a blow.
I'd like to phase out of
Le
this
van a dar los poderes de las armas. Le van a dar los poderes de las armas. O sea, literalmente, si das el poder de Phantom Dancer, es intocable. Literalmente pone que camina a través de unidades. O sea, literalmente es intocable. ¿Qué va a hacer Harley contra un villano intocable? Joder, ponle la sanguinaria... No, la sanguinaria no, el objeto este de ACC, que te pone un escudo cuando tienes poca vida. Para así tener una última oportunidad. Es que... ¡Coño, ponle Ángel Guardián! ¡Ponle un Zonias! ¿No te jodes? Ponle un Zonias, ponle un Ángel Guardián, salvaguardia, ya está, tomad por culo.
Then there's the Quicksilver Sash, which protects her from status effects like sleep, paralysis, and poison.
La acabas de poner el Quicksilver, por lo cual el veneno del Joker ya no la afecta. O sea, ponle el Zonias. Ponle el Ángel Guardián. Coño, ponle robo de vida. Robo de vida. Ya está, gana por desgaste.
This includes forced actions, which make you do things you don't want to do. Hey, Boom, you want to pop into a match with your old Teemo from back in the day? I can set it up right now.
How about we move on to Arcane before I ram my foot up your ass?
Aww.
So, there's more to Jinx than what the main games depict. Before her infamous tomfoolery, most people around Zaun knew her as an innocent young tinkerer named Powder.
Like pretty much everyone in the Undercity, Powder had it rough. She lost her parents in a conflict with enforcers, but had a bit of luck when she joined this cool foster family along with Vi, who was, gasp, her sister all along. If you're wondering what put soap in their opera, Vi was a total badass, and Powder was desperate to also
Y la
prove
runa
herself to her
también.
newfound family. And then she made a mistake.
Seemingly abandoned, Powder was left in the hands of the most notorious drug kingpin around. Silco was not the father she needed, but the one she wanted, teaching her to turn her perceived weaknesses into her greatest strengths. Thus, she became Jinx.
Even when the sisters reunited years later, they couldn't fully reconcile, setting up the game of cat and mouse in the game.
Jinx was an excellent rival, able to keep up with other skilled warriors like the bullet-dodging Echo, and survive the worst of Zaun's toxic environments, which can kill normal people in minutes. After a near-fatal explosion,
porque está
she was
acostumbrada.
also infused with Shimmer, a toxic strength and speed-enhancing drug that permanently altered her body's biochemistry.
But Shimmer's side effects intensified her prior trauma, making her much more unhinged and prone to attacking with lethal intent.
Inspiring her ultimate weapon, the Super Mega Death Rocket! This baby's been powered by both Hextech and its even more volatile cousin, Chemtech.
That's even more explosive! I forgot how much I appreciated the explodey options. Anyway, both Hextech and Chemtech are comparable in power to natural magic.
On par with what a badass mage like Lux is able to cast, such as Lucent Singularity,
No.
which can totally body these big ol'
Luego
rocks.
pasa
Measuring
Lux
their
con
width
Jinx.
with Lux's height, we can determine she destroyed almost 13,000 tons of rock from 30
No compares a Lux con... No tiene nada que ver. Es magia Lux. Y eso fue para invocar a Galio. Ay, la madre que le parió. Acabas de comparar a Jinx con Lux. Muy bien, claro que sí.
meters
La
away.
magia de
Promotional
Lux.
trailers show Mega Death Rocket matching the speed and power of Lux's final spark, a much more powerful attack that fires a Kamehameha of natural light.
So her rocket is not only super strong, but super fast. From powder to gunpowder, Silco couldn't be prouder.
But her violet streak grew grim.
¡Ay,
until the
Flash
day she met a
también! Los
particularly
hechizos de invocador, los hechizos de invocador, gente. Curar, prender, escudo, teletransporte, Flash.
Yordle. Ziggs bonded with her over their mutual passion for destruction, but his was more tempered, controlled. Thanks to his wisdom, Jinx learned a little bit of restraint when it came to exploding things of a more fleshy nature.
Helping her tone down the wanton violence and recover some of her mental stability, like he's some kind of feline brand Jiminy Cricket.
And despite being on opposite sides of the bridge, Jinx and Vi remained sisters, ultimately still caring about each other in their own way, even if they were at odds more often than not.
Though you better believe that when things get boring and uptight, Jinx will be there to shake things up.
Bueno, estamos en modo URF, tío. Es verdad que estamos,
This
si
episode
estamos
is-
en modo URF, que no tienen... Porque me dices, ah, pero tienen cooldown. Modo URF. En URF no tienen cooldown. ¿Qué ahora qué?
All right, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Es que tiene que ganar Jinx de paliza, pero bueno, da igual. Va a ganar Harley. Va a ganar Harley. ¿Por qué haces cómicas secas?
And they say these games are rigged. What?
Tiene cuervo, buena. ¡Sway, no!
You emo pigeons! I'll show you a murder! Oh, I just love exploding stuff. Huh, I like exploding stuff too. Why don't I start with your head?
Sway se está cabrando.
I'm trying to shoot you!
Frase del LOL. Toma.
Look out!
She's
right behind
¿Acaba de hacer flash?
Aw, thanks, pal. Traitor!
Ok.
You're a real real firecracker. Got a light? Oh, sure thing.
¡Demasiado! Ay, Dios, qué malo. Ah, la cinta. Ok, vamos con la esta, guapo. Está guapo, está muy bien esas habilidades, me gusta visualmente. Muy guapa la pelea. La de dimensiones. La pelea está muy bien hecha.
That's unfortunate.
Sorry, soldier Doodad. To make up for it, I got you some nice perfume.
Smells like... Get back! I'm crazy! I am a doctor, and you ain't crazy. You don't have that same smile! I don't need a second opinion!
No te creo.
Wait! Don't you want to get in close and savor my emotions as you deliver the final kill? Nah, bye-bye!
No te creo. No te creo. No te creo. No te creo.
KO! Don't just stand there, Jinx. You just want a free teddy bear. What if it's Tibbers?
This was a complicated fight with far more factors to consider than at first blush. Harley had more direct combat experience against super beings, along with better training.
But Jinx's physical power, diabolical weaponry, and assortment of items were just enough to roast this
Y la pelea está de puta
While
madre
Harley
encima.
lifting over
Nice.
1,200 pounds is impressive, Jinx can compete with Vi, whose gauntlets weigh 8 times that in the
Que
game.
no
And
compite
Jinx
contra...
can take hits from a guy who can shake mountains. A bit beyond Harley's level of strength.
Harley may have been more naturally acrobatic, but Jinx's hex tech and intangibility matched and outclassed that mobility. The teleporting tablet alone could control the entire fight, since Jinx could send herself or Harley just about anywhere.
And while Harley had a moderate healing factor, she's never regenerated entire body parts before, so a big enough kaboom would definitely kill her. And Jinx's weapons were strong enough to do just that. In order to destroy over 13,000 tons of rock from such a distance, Lux's magic explosion would need a yield of about 20 kilotons of TNT.
And Jinx's Hextech and Chemtech are similar to Lux's magic in speed and power.
Even if we scale Harley's durability to Batman surviving this massive explosion, the potency of Jinx's weaponry outpaces it more than 300 times.
Sure, Harley is legitimately intelligent, but so is Jinx, as evidenced by her inventions and routinely outwitting Vi and her task force. Plus, Jinx is typically distrusting of people she's just met, so
Ahí está.
Harley's potential mind games were likely to fall on skeptical ears.
Jinx was much more likely to shoot first and ask questions later.
Now, Harley still had her wide array of poisons and chemical agents, like the Joker Venom, which would kill most opponents in minutes. However, after living her whole life in the toxic cesspool of Zon, her tolerance for poisons is clearly much
Ahí
higher than
está.
a normal person. Not to mention, the Quicksilver Sash could simply end
Ahí
any
está.
unwanted effect on her. Ultimately, Harley couldn't
También
stand
digo.
up to Jinx's physical power, superior technology, or overwhelmingly explosive
Una
arsenal.
buena pelea con un buen
Clowned
resultado, me
around
gusta.
only to get her bell rung by someone
A ver la
out of her
siguiente.
league.
The winner is Jinx.
Yes.
Death Battle is back, and we've launched a brand new membership program for our YouTube channel. By directly supporting our team, you'll get unique emotes, badges, additional content, and more. Click that join button to see more info, and thanks for watching.
A ver. ¿Wanda contra? Zack. Wanda. Wanda de paliza. Wanda de paliza. Wanda de paliza. Pero de paliza, campeón. Lo siento, Tatana, cariño. Me gustas muchísimo más. Pero a ver, Wanda literalmente... Pues bueno, es una puta gema de la realidad. No, da igual. Wanda acabó con todo un universo. ¡No more mutants! Zatanna no llega a ese nivel ni de lejos. Ni de lejos. Pero una soberana paliza. Bueno, pondré la votación. Gana Wanda, gana Zatanna. Ya podéis lo que os decís, ¿vale? ¡Qué buena! ¡Qué buen vídeo! ¡Qué buena pelea, tío! Me ha encantado. O sea, ya me estaba gustando. Es que ya me estaba gustando la pelea por lo bien que estaba hecha visualmente. Y encima ha ganado Jinx, que tenía que ganar Jinx. Pues de puta madre, GG. O sea, GG. O sea, joder, por fin. Por fin, joder. Lógica. Da like.